Search Sources, Part 6, the Atlanta Journal and Constitution. If your topic happens in Atlanta or in Georgia, you might want to search Atlanta's newspaper, the Atlanta Journal and Constitution. Since the Atlanta Journal and Constitution is a newspaper, you search it in News and Newspapers. You already showed me this in a video. You go to the library webpage. You don't go to the big box. You go down to N, you click it. Here's News and Newspapers. Now you open it up and... oops. If you have your heart set on using News and Newspapers to search the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, what you can do is click Publications, type in Atlanta Journal, and search. Due to title changes, the Atlanta Journal and Constitution is about 8 different sources, depending on what you're interested in. Now, some of this will work if you're looking for older topics, and I mean back around the aughts and the 90s, but it gets worse than this. A fair amount of Atlanta Journal-Constitution content is published by something called TCA, that stands for Tribune Content Agency. And ProQuest lists it as TCA Regional News. This is their website. So, if you are searching the AJC with ProQuest News and Newspapers, you're likely to miss a lot. Fortunately, you can search the Atlanta Journal-Constitution on its own website. This works really well when you have current topics, as in the last 2 or 3 years, or even going back maybe to 2010. You can just search Atlanta Journal-Constitution on any search engine, and here we are. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution has a big search box like any other database, and you just type in your search. You don't even have to use an and to put your topics together. It is pretty good at understanding natural language. It's still a good idea to use both parts of your topic and to think of synonyms for the parts of your topic. For example, if you are searching for healthcare in prisons, you might want to look at both prisons and jails. You try those separately, and you might think of synonyms for healthcare like medicine. Let's search for healthcare in jails. Jails was one of the synonyms we had for prisons. We click on the magnifying glass. Wow! These results are fantastic! Diabetes in jail? Healthcare in jeopardy? Coronavirus! How much medical care has to be provided? Now, we don't get page counts, but you do get dates and titles. You forgot the pictures! Well, which one would you like to open? Let's look at backlog of medical requests. And here we are. Okay, let me look at this article. I know I want it. How do I email it to myself? The first thing you have to do with an AJC article is save it. And the way you save it is by printing it. I don't have a printer, and I don't want to use up my free printing. Okay, you still have to go through print. But we're not going to print anything that's going to cost you money. We're going to print to a file. We go to the menu bar. In Chrome, this will be on the right, and it's a pull-down menu. Here it's up top. We go to Print. We choose Microsoft Print to PDF. On some computers it will be Adobe PDF. We click Print. And we can put this PDF file wherever we would like, or we can open it. Most likely your file will end up in Documents, but you have a whole lot of stuff over here. This is a file manager. And if you are lucky enough to see this, you can go to your flash drive, if you have one with you, and choose a folder. I'm going to put this in Ding Dong. And I click, let me bring this over here, and I click Save. Now, let's upload the file to email. First, you need a message, and you write it to yourself. You add a subject. You can attach more than one article if you wish, but I'm just going to do one. We then go down here to the paper clip, and we attach from this computer. Now, your document could have ended up in Documents. It could end up in Downloads. This is where your article could be in any of these. Since I also put this on my flash drive, it's in Open Secret, and under Open Secret we have Ding Dong. There's my article. I click it. I choose Open. We have to wait a bit for it to settle down, and we send. And in a few seconds, we should see the article. If not, it's right here in Sent. And now it's in my inbox. And you can also upload your article to the cloud. This is Google Drive. OneDrive is similar. On Google Drive, I click New. I choose File Upload, and here is my File Explorer. All kinds of things here. Again, more likely than not, you're going to be in Downloads or Documents or on the desktop. But I'm on my flash drive, so I go down to E, which is a flash drive. Flash drives have different letters. I open Open Secret because this is a subfolder called Ding Dong. I open Ding Dong. I choose my article. I say Open. And you can see it's uploading. That's all you have to do. And I'm not sure where it is, but if I look for my article, you'll see it's right there. Hey, wait a minute! When I click on an article in the AJC, this is what happens. It wants me to pay. I'm locked out. You can use news and newspapers to break through the paywall. But you said we're not supposed to use news and newspapers. You can have news and newspapers set up in a separate tab, and you can do what's called a title search. As you can see, news and newspapers is in one tab, Atlanta Journal and Constitution is in another, and your article is the third tab. Want to try? Yeah! Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to make a new tab right up here. We are going to go to Google, and we're going to type in GSU Library. Now, we ignore the big box, and we choose N from the alphabet. We scroll down to News and Newspapers. Over here, we have our article in the AJC. Let's open it. And then let's copy the title. Control C,
we paste it in, and we bind it with quotes. Quotes around a phrase like a title keep it in the order you gave it. Quotes bind like rope. Then we hit search, and here it is, right on top. And if you'll notice, it's in both TCA Regional News and Atlanta Journal. We can open either one.
And so, we have learned about all the places where you can find the Atlanta Journal-Constitution online. We have learned why you should be using the AJC's own website for current articles. We've learned how to search the AJC website and how to save, email, and upload those articles. Have fun with your research and have a great day.